Hey everyone, and welcome. If you're involved in trade with the Gulf region, there's one thing that can make or break your entire operation, and that's the MAQASA report. Seriously, getting this right can mean smooth sailing, but getting it wrong, well, that can lead to some really costly delays. So let's dive in and break down exactly what you need to know.
So, I've got to ask you, are you thinking about trading in the Gulf region? Maybe you're already there, or maybe you're looking to expand. It's an incredible area, right? Just brimming with opportunity. But, and this is a big but, it comes with its own unique set of trade rules that you absolutely cannot afford to overlook.
And if that sounds like you, then there's one word you really need to get familiar with: MAQASA. I know it sounds kind of technical, but trust me on this. Understanding what MAQASA is all about is a total game changer for navigating the whole import-export scene over there. All right, so first things first, let's decode this MAQASA report. What is it really, and more importantly, what does it do? Okay, so at its heart, a MAQASA report is basically an import and export statistical report. The best way to think about it is like a super detailed logbook for every single shipment. It creates this organized summary of all the goods moving in and out of the Gulf, and believe me, it is so much more than just a piece of paperwork. It's a critical record of all your trade activity. And that brings us to why it's so important. It really has two main jobs. On one hand, it gives businesses like yours crucial data, the kind of stuff that helps you make way smarter decisions. But on the other hand, it's a massive tool for compliance. It's all about making sure every single trade is documented perfectly for the authorities in the Gulf. Okay, so we've got the what, but what about the who? Who are the people and the groups that actually need this data? Let's take a look at the key players who really depend on these reports. You might be surprised how many different groups rely on this. First off, of course, you've got the businesses themselves. They use it to keep a close eye on their own trade activities. Then you've got market analysts and logistics companies. They're looking at the bigger picture, using all that data to spot trends. And finally, you have government agencies and regulatory bodies who use it to make sure everyone is playing by the rules. Now, I know when you hear words like compliance and regulations, it can sound a little intimidating, maybe even complicated. But here's the good news. Getting a report that ticks all the boxes is totally manageable once you know the steps. So let's walk through how it actually works. You can really break the whole thing down into three main steps. Step one is the foundation. You've got to collect and submit all your trade data, and it has to be accurate. We're talking about things like bills of lading, commercial invoices, all that good stuff. Then comes step two, which is the super important compliance check. This is where all that data gets checked against the specific regulations in the Gulf. And finally, step three is all about getting some help to make sure you're meeting all their requirements. It's the best way to be sure nothing slips through the cracks. And that last step brings us to a really crucial point: the value of compliance. I mean, with all these details, why is having an expert in your corner so important? What's the real difference it makes? Well, bringing in a professional has some major benefits. The biggest one? It helps you dodge those really expensive mistakes that can lead to fines or, even worse, your shipments getting stuck. It also means everything gets processed quickly and reliably, so your supply chain just keeps moving. And you get that dedicated support. It's like having a lifeline, whether you're a tiny startup or a huge corporation. So let's wrap this up with a final thought. In today's world of global trade, where everything moves at lightning speed, isn't accurate data the most valuable currency we have? It's really what keeps the entire system running. Something to think about. Thanks so much for tuning in.